Hi, folks, and welcome to Unit 4. Hope all of you guys had a wonderful week on Unit 3 and wonderful weekend. We're going to jump into Unit 4, which hopefully you guys are going to start doing some more coding with a little bit more fun, a little bit more exciting and more fun, and you'll be able to hopefully play with it a little more, learn new techniques, new stuff. Hopefully that will be more helpful and more exciting. Hopefully, the more exciting it is, the better you guys can do overall. So what we're gonna do, as usual with the programming challenge practices, I assigned you a few of them, but I'm gonna go over a couple of them, which I think are a lot of fun, at least for me because they're kind of related to math and stuff like that. The first one is magic dates, so it's programming challenge number 3, and the second one is programming challenge 23, which is geometry calculator. Hopefully it'll make you a little bit think, and it shouldn't be that bad. Don't get frustrated with it. Hopefully you guys are learning more and more to use the internet to your advantage. When you have issues about something, you can always go and research it online and find a zillion amount of resources. So let's jump into the first one. So number 3, which is magic dates, it tells you the date June 10, 1960 is a special because when we write it in the following format, which is month, time, and then you have the month, day, and then year, if you multiply the month by the date, you should end up having the same value as your year. So the example they give you is like 6, 10, 60. So 6 is the month, 10 is the day, times each other, that's 60, which is 1960 the year. So write a program that asks the user to enter a month in numeric form, a day, and a 2-digit year. The program should determine whether the month times the day is equal to the year. If so, it should display a message telling the user that it is magic. If not, it will display that it is not. So we'll start with the comment. So chapter 4, by the way, great job on you folks putting the comments within your code. Just a couple of you didn't do much of that. Get the habit of doing so. It does help tremendously on the long run in classroom, like at school or in the field. The more you have clean programs with comments, and it shows your how meticulous you are, and trust me, it does help tremendously on the long run. So chapter 4, programming challenge 3, which is magic date. Then I'll need just my basic library of IOStream. And then I have my using namespace, std. Then I'm going to my main function. Okay, and most of you did very well with when you're doing the final display of your data. Just a couple folks pretty much gave some direct numbers without even putting a line telling what I'm looking at on the screen. So have the habit when you have your final display of your data, to have a cout telling this is the output of blah blah blah, or this is the calculation of X, Y, and Z, or something like that. Have the habit to do that. Imagine yourself, you go to an ATM machine, and then you put your debit card, and it doesn't show anything on the screen telling you what to do. It just keeps blinking. So what should I do now? Enter my password or wait? It is just helpful if you just put a quick, small, simple comment. No need to write a whole crazy 2 paragraphs or 3, but just a simple line, couple words, 3 words, and that will describe what you're trying to do. If you look here, what I'm doing, so I have int a month, which is to hold the month, and then int day to hold the day, and then I have year, which is int to hold, not int, I don't need the int, so to hold the year. And then from there, the first thing you need to do is just ask the user to enter the month, so get the month, and then cout, now put a sentence telling the user enter the a month, and telling them, like, I can do something, for example, which is month, which will look pretty neat to the user. Hey, that's how I need to enter it. And you have your cn, which is basically what, month. And then I'll do the same thing, get the day, and then cout, enter a day, and then put DD for the user to see it. It's just neat. It's not required. You won't be marked down if you don't put it in, but it just looks a lot better if you do it this way. Then finally, I need to get the year. So get the year, cout, enter a year. And then parentheses, I'll have it as YY just to show, hey, that's how you need to enter it. And then cin, and I'll have my year. Now, what I need to do as this final step is determine if the date is magic. To do that, simply, I'll do a cout telling the user the date, and then I'll have month, I'll have my slash, and then I'll have day, my slash, and then lastly I'll have, let's say I did Monday, then I'll do year, then my slash is, which will be what? Now I do my calculation. So months times day must equal year. Why is it equal and not just equal? Because if you just do equal, it means what? You are assigning month times day, you're assigning it the value of year, and that's not the case. We want them to be equal. I want the example they gave us, 10 times 6 is 60. 60 is equal to 60, so the month and the day are equal to the year is equal to the month and the day. That's why I must use here in this case day and month and day is equal to year. Then I have from there look at magic, if it's magic or not. Is it magical? I'll do /n, so like that it gives me some space, takes it to the next line, and then it's telling it not magic. If it's incorrect, then it'll be not magic, and then a slash /n. Oops, that should be inside, not outside. /n, and then that's it. Return 0. Compile that using Control F5, or you can use debug and then go from there. Use the local button to do it. So enter a month. I'll do 04. Oops. 04 day. I'll do 12, and let's do 24. No, 1264. I think. That is not magical. So if I do a 6, oops, 6, 10, 60, that tells me it is magical. So my code, working simple, nothing much into it, very, very straightforward. So from there, that's it for this one. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, not much in it. But I thought it would be fun to go through that. Let's look at 23. Oops, 23, which is a 23, which is a geometry calculator. Geometry calculator. So that's for this one. Okay, let's review the problem. So they give you a menu. They want you to create the menu and to be displayed on the screen. The first one is to calculate the area of a circle. Second is the area of a rectangle. Third is the area of a triangle. And then the first option, if the user press 4, they'll quit. So if the user enters 1, the program should ask for the radius of the circle, then display its area using the formula they give you, which is area is equal to pi r square. So, and they give you what is the value of pi in this case, which we'll use a constant value for it, which will not change. And if the user enters 2, the program should ask for the length and width of the rectangle, then display the rectangle area. Use the formula area is equal to length times width. And then for the third one, if the user enters that, then you should ask the user to enter the length of the triangle, base, and its height, then display its area. And they give you the formula, which is area is equal to base times height times 0.5. Now you got to be careful. Input validation that you need to be careful about. Display a message if the user, let's say, use option 5, that does not exist. So you got to tell the customer that's not possible. And also you cannot allow to accept negative numbers, which will make the whole thing as false. So it's not going to work. So we'll start with this one. We need to use IOStream using namespace std int main. The next thing I need to do a declaration of a constant. So constant for pi, which in this case is a constant double. Why am I using constant and not just double? Because constant double means what? That the value does not change. It's a specific value. Let's say you had a percentage or something like that that does not change. So that's why I use constant, double, constant, integers, whatever you're trying to use. Then I need to do constant for the menu choice, and where I had calculate the area of the rectangle, calculate the area of a circle. So we'll start with constant int. We'll call it circle choice, which is equal to 1. Then I have a constant int for the second one is rectangle choice. So rectangle choice, which is equal to 2. Then I have a constant int for, what are we going to call it? Triangle. Yeah, call it triangle choice, which is equal to 3. And then finally we have a constant int constant int, and that is for quit choice. Which is equal to 4. So let me clean this up a little bit. That looks a little bit better. Now the next thing I need to do is do a declaration for an int for choice, which I'll use later within my program. A double for radius, which is a number, so it has to be a double. Then use one, we'll call it length, and then we'll use one for the width. Then we'll declare one for the base. Then we'll do a declaration for the height. And then finally one for the area. And then that covers pretty much all the different types that we have. And let's put a quick comment about that. So this one is users enter or let's say users shape choice, and then we have for this one is radius radius of a circle. Oops, anymore. This one is basically just the length, wait, oops, wrong one. This one should be right here. So this one is the radius of the circle, and this one is the length of a rectangle. This one is the width DTH of a rectangle. So, just adding the comments does help you on a long term, even if you come back to it. I mean, the programs we'll be writing during the whole semester are pretty straightforward. They're simple. They're not big or something. But imagine you are working for let's say Microsoft on the operating system, I don't know, Windows 10 or something like that. I know for a fact that Windows 8 was over 49 million lines of code. If you don't have a whole lot of comments, it gets pretty crazy, you know, going through all the numbers and letters and code and this and that without really having comments. So 49 million lines of code written in different languages that you try to put together and make it all work, which did not very much happen. But anyhow, so it's very critical to have some simple comments which don't take much of your time, and it's clean, it's, you know, good to go. So next I need to display the menu and get a choice from the user. So cout, I'll type, we're not just geometry calculator, and then put some spacing to the next line. Cout, I'll have my first choice in this case, which is 1. Calculate. What was the first one? The area of a circle. That was my first option. Now the next option, I'll do cout and copy paste, you know, lazy way of doing it, not the right way, but trying to make the video as short as possible so you guys don't have to keep listening to me, even though I know that you guys love my voice. That was a joke. You guys can laugh about it. It's free. So here it is calculate the area of a triangle or rectangle. I'm sorry. First rectangle. First one was circle. Second one was rectangle. Third one is triangle. So triangle, which is option 3. And then finally 4 is cout, which is the option 4 of quitting, for quit. There'll be your 4 options that the user has to enter, and then cout telling the user exactly the same way they showed us. Enter in the problem itself, enter your choice, and then we had parentheses 1 through 4, and the user enters whatever value they want, and cn, that'll be your, you know, choice. Very simple. Now what we need to do is respond to the user menu selection. So you want to react once the user selects something, then you'll need to have a respond. Either the user entered a valid number, anything between 1 and 4, or enter the wrong number and tell them, oops, you got a problem. So we got to use switch choice in this case, and you'll see in a sec that it is very helpful to use the switch in this case, especially with menus. So I'm going to start cases. So case, first one is circle choice. That's, you know, for our first one. And we'll have cout enter the circle radius, cn, which will be your radius. And then if we'll have to put our condition, radius is less than 0, cout let me scroll down a little bit. Cout the radius cannot be less than 0. Else it has what? Area. They give us the formula, area is equal to pi times radius times radius. So the formula was given, nothing to worry about, to think about, to double think it, don't second guess yourself. C out, in this case I have what the area is, and then you have basically just your area, simple. Now I'm done with this one. I need to break, which tells the compiler, hey, I'm done with this first part. Now I need to go and do the same thing for rectangle choice and do the same thing for the triangle. So case, next one is rectangle choice. So that's rectangle choice. C out, same thing as the previous one. Put the comment really quickly for the user to enter the rectangle's length. So telling the user to do so, and they'll be seeing just length. Oops. So seeing length. C out. Now we need the width. So telling the user to enter the width in this case. Enter the width. It is width. Enter the width, or the rectangle's width. Let's keep it the same as when we did the heights. Rectangles width. Cn, that'll be width. So we're done with this one. Now we need to make sure to have a condition. So our condition will be what? Use an if statement. So if length is less than 0, or, so we have a either or condition, width less than 0, then we'll have what? C out, telling the user, you did a mistake, oops, problem, only enter positive values. For length and width. If not, you're in trouble. And /n. So we're done with this one. Now, if it's not the case, then I have an else, which they enter the proper number. So else area, look at my formula, which is equal to what? Length times width. And that's it. That's what they gave me. C out. They give you the formula. Just apply it. Simple, no complication. The area is and there'll be area, and then break. I'm done with that one. Last but not least, for the next one is case for the triangle. Triangle. Case triangle choice. So for that one, same thing. C out. What we need to look for in this case is enter the length of the base Cn, which will be just base, and then C out, enter the triangle's height. Enter the triangle's height. Cn Then we need to do the same thing. We'll do an if statement. So if base is less than 0 or height is less than 0, then we have a problem. Cout. Only, same thing, only enter positive values for for base and height. Else, so if they did it properly, then we're good to go. The compiler will find the area, and I'll give them my formula. Area is equal to what? They told us the area is equal to base times what was it? Height times what? What's the number? 0.5. And then my cout, just telling the user what we found. So the area is, which is area. And then, of course, make sure to have your break, which will allow the compiler to, exit from that. And last but not least is your last case, which is quit choice. So, oops, you need to have it in here. You need to have it in here. My bad. So that would give us a problem because I went outside of the process that I'm working on. So this one, cout program, what are you going to say? Program ending, I guess. So it's the end of the program, and then see you later break. I'm out. And then you have your default. Now you got to make sure when you guys are working on your homework based on what you've learned, make sure that you follow the instructions, as it might ask you to use a switch, it might ask you to use a for loop, it might ask you to have, I don't know, something later you learn, maybe prototype or something like that. So be very careful on following. It's not just having the program working properly, you still have to follow the requirements that the assignment is telling you to complete. So run the program again and select one of those. And then I'm done. Return 0, and hopefully that should do it. Let's compile it, see if we have an error. So the first option that I have, 1, 2, or 3, or 4, I'm going to use 5, so it does not exist. Okay, we get a problem. So I'll use 1. Ask me enter the circle radius, I don't know, 5, and it tells me the area is 78 point blah blah blah. So if I do option 2, later you learn about allowing you to re-enter the menu and not just exit. So allows you, would you like to do another transaction? Then you'll have a while loop telling it yes, no, etc. And enter the rectangle's length 5, width 5. It gives me it's 25, which is correct. And then number 3, enter the length of the base, that's 10, the height of the triangle 15, that tells you it's 75. And then the last one, which is number 4, program ending, and then you enter. That's pretty much it for this one. Hope that this helped. I'll have the code for you also copied and pasted in a Word document in Blackboard. Please review it. Feel free to get hold of me if you have any questions or you need any help. I hope you'll have a fantastic weekend. Week. Great work. Have some fun with the work that you do. Be creative. Don't be afraid of creating something and thinking outside of the box. Just make sure that you have some type of comments that provide some logic when you're completing your work. Have a wonderful week, and I'll catch you on Unit 5. Thank you, guys.